And Austin, we're ready to go. All right, Chambers County Commissioner Court come to order. It's Tuesday, 11th day of August, 2020, 9:30 a.m. I'm in the county courtroom, Anahuac, Texas. The rest of the court's virtual, and we are live streaming through YouTube. As all of you know, yesterday was a very sad day for Chambers County. Long time employee, 39 years, Sarah Sarong, Miss Chambers County, passed away. She gave her heart and soul for the folks in Chambers County for many, many, many years. So if you will remember her family, if you'll all rise. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Lord, thank you, Sarah, and the time that we got to know her and work with her and just spend time with her. Lord, thank you for all she has done for Chambers County over the many, many years. Lord, pray for her family as they deal with the passing of her. And we pray that you would be with us as we make the decisions for Chambers County today, that we would make the best decisions for the people that we represent. Guide us and direct us in all that we do. Keep us safe from the COVID. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Could join us in the pledge. Just pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
You are a little bit slow.
Yes, we are.
It's my internet.
I slow down so we stay on the same pace, but then Austin speeds it up.
It's the coffee, Judge.
Yeah, it's the coffee, and you know he is he did go to SFA, so there you go. Can't help himself. All right, we're going to get started. There are no citizens' comments today. 1.1, discuss and consider setting elected officials' salaries for FY 2021. There are no increases other than those for longevity.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Combs, second by Commissioner Gore. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. 1.2, discuss and consider the proposed civil fees consolidation bill anticipated to be filed during the 87th legislative session and the effects of it on the 2021 county budget. Patty Henry, District Clerk, is on the phone. Patty.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Just to update you, I am on the executive and I wanted to give you an update on what to expect while you're setting the budget for 2021. Last year, if you remember this during the session, we passed a bill, SB 346, that drastically changed the criminal fees. They consolidated some, and basically what they were doing is trying to move them into special dedicated accounts instead of having them dropped into the general fund, both at the state level and local level. This session, we have already been contacted by the Office of Court Administration that Freeney is wanting to do the same thing with the civil fees. They are looking at, in general, civil fees consolidating, making sure that fees that are sent to a dedicated fund are actually used for court purposes. After having several conversations with the OCA, I don't believe that it will negatively affect our budget. I think that it is going to just cause us to create additional GL line items that might be specifically for judicial purposes or court purposes instead of just dropping it in the general fund. But as I will argue on behalf of the association, and the commissioner's court is that, salaries come out of that, supplies come out of that. So obviously we have to have money in the general budget to fund our offices. But we will keep a close eye on it. And if anybody is having any issues, we'll let you know.
Sounds good. Any questions? Okay, thank you, Patty.
All right, thank you.
All right, under Road and Bridge, 3.1, discuss and consider setting a public hearing for Tuesday, August 25th, 2020, regarding relocation and abandonment of right-of-way to exchange real property and right-of-way for a proposed road and drainage realignment adjacent to SH 99 EW4.
I'll move for approval, Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Combs, second by Commissioner Nelson, to set that public hearing. Any questions? This all has to do with the realignment of EW4. And makes it-
Judge, is that something we're taking executive session? Similar
We
to-
are going to executive session on that, Gary.
I mean, I know this just said
Under
the public
executive
hearing.
session, but it doesn't have to do anything with the public hearing.
Okay,
Public hearing, we are going to discuss EW4 under executive session. And you should have gotten some information with a timeline from that Aaron sent out about 4:30 yesterday afternoon.
I got it this morning.
And also you have gotten it, you said, Gary?
Yeah, I got it this morning.
And one other item also under property. You should have gotten that also. Okay, so I got a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, economic development, those are public hearings at 10 a.m. So we're going to skip over those and go to the consent agenda, number 1910. The contract Tyler Technologies. Bill, let's see. County attorney, a couple of items, a couple of terms he'd like to change, recommends a motion that the court authorize the district clerk, county attorney, county judge work with Tyler Technologies, the contract terms with an annual cost not to exceed $43,960. The county judge to sign once agreeable terms have been reached. Anybody like to make it motion?
I'll make the motion, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Combs, second by Commissioner Gore. Any
And
questions?
Judge, I have a question on
Go
it.
ahead.
Is this, I want to make sure I understand what it is. Is it to integrate the program that we approved last court, the ACT program, or exactly what is this to do?
This is jury manager system that we approved last time. Yes, sir. This is the contract for it.
But that one was like 60-something thousand, I believe.
Well, it was, I thought it was 40 something for the first 2 or 3 years, and then it went up to 60 something.
She was involved in an altercation last night with her husband. And she
Possibly.
wants to get a restraining order to protect herself and her children. He's also.
Patty negotiated it down, I thought Patty
I know, man.
negotiated it down.
Hey, I've lost my agenda. I don't know what's happening to my computer.
Hey, Patty. Okay, so ask your question again, Billy.
I just want to make sure I understand what
Tyler
it is.
Technologies jury manager.
Yeah, I wanted to know if that is to migrate the program that we approved last court in, or is this in addition? Exactly what is it?
No, this is directly based off the approval from last court, where this is the actual contract migrating the current system to the new system.
If you need to look it up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and that was the price that was approved, from what I recall, right, Patty, at 43.
It was.
It was approved, and the court decided to pay $20,600 this year and pay the difference next year, and then pay a full year. We start on our full year next year. So that's all been worked out. Aaron's been sent the figures. He approved the figures. We're just needing the contract signed.
Number, so 2309 will be.
Okay.
January 1.
Yeah, that's. Excuse me. And that's what's on the agenda with contract. And the motion is to have me, you, and Scott work with Tyler to get it get it approved.
Yes, and I do have Scott's notes here. I received them yesterday, and I also have an email from him this morning saying that he would suggest we make changes. And I'm sending him an email explaining to him why the cost difference recalls the last court where we already approved that.
Okay.
So, but we can definitely, you know, based on, I agree that we should approve it based on his statement that we work out the few details.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, Patty.
I got a motion second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, the other one for Mr. Peel is number 23. Approved contract and or contract amendment with Windstream for internet services and the upgrade and renewal of VPLS and virtual private LAN service and primary rate interface circuits to wit phone and internet technology. He asked the county attorney, he had a couple of terms that needed to be discussed with Windstream. Motion, the court authorized Derek Parrish, Caitlin Ball, county attorney, county judge to work with Windstream on the contract amendment terms for this agenda item with a monthly cost not to exceed $3,925 and $1,175 monthly savings, and for the judge to sign the contract.
I have one. Yes. I have one.
Have a motion?
So move, Judge.
Second, Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Tice.
Did they prearrange that price, Judge? I mean, how'd they come up with $3,925?
They've been working on this, Gary, for a while. I'm not sure. That's a question. I don't know if Mr. Peel knows that answer or not, but Derek.
Well, I didn't notice it on the agenda item is the reason I was asking.
Mm.
They usually put it on there when they got a price they've negotiated.
Yeah, they usually do. But he's putting a not to exceed, so.
Okay.
All right, those in favor?
Uh,
Opposed, motion carries. That's the motion she made with those for the records. All right. On the consent, we'll start precinct 1. Jimmy, you got any you'd like to pull and discuss?
But I mean, my agenda's gone off my
Did you
computer.
get, I was
Judge.
gonna
I'm
say, did you
trying
get your
to
agenda back up?
I'm still trying to get my agenda back up, Judge. So go.
All right,
go on.
precinct 2, Mark.
I've got the same little problem that Commissioner Gore has, but right now I see nothing, Judge, specifically I need to discuss.
All right, precinct 3, Gary.
can y'all look at y'all Zoom and agenda at the same time? I had to put it on another
I'm
computer.
doing that.
On the same screen?
Yes.
Huh. I've got 2 computers set up here. I got one on my old computer and I don't have it on this one. I'm all going to show me how y'all do that.
You got 2 IT folks over there in your building.
Oh yeah, but they stay in their little deal over. They don't come out. If it'd come out, I'd catch them. I think they're scared. I just have, it's pretty clean, Judge. I just had one comment on 15.
Number 15 is approve update on grant funded project, updates economic development. Go ahead, Gary.
And I think that's valuable to the court to have that information put on the agenda and looked at every now and then, because sometimes we get ourselves in a bind, start running out of time, and our grants our grants are time sensitive. So I think that's valuable to court, and I just want to appreciate her doing that. That's the only item I really wanted to comment on.
Okay, good. Yes, and I think you're right. It is very valuable to have those updates regular. All right, Billy, Commissioner Combs, precinct 4.
Yes, sir. Actually, I second what Commissioner Nelson just said. I wanted to thank Samantha also for putting that on. It's very helpful. I appreciate it. And also on item number 13, I want to thank the Mercy Gate Church for stepping up and being volunteering to work with the county to open up for emergencies when we have them. I appreciate that very much. And
Yeah,
hopefully
and while you're on that one, Billy, they have been very, very valuable in the past.
they have been.
Appreciate them stepping up again also.
Kudos to them. And that's it, Judge.
All right, back to Commissioner Gore, anything?
No, sir. I mean, I don't, it was here this morning and it just, we're working on it, Judge.
You want me to
Okay.
email it to you?
I mean.
We'll figure out how to get it to you. So, all right, so if there's nothing else on the consent agenda, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent.
Move to approve.
Who was that, Gary?
Yeah.
Second,
Commissioner Nelson and Commissioner Ty, second.
yes.
All right, here no other questions, those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Opposed,
Uh,
motion carries. All right, we got a few minutes before we go
I
into
tell you.
the public hearing. So let's take a quick recess. We'll come back at 10 o'clock and we'll go to economic development tourism. We'll have BJ on the line with us. So we'll have about 9 minutes.
Thank you, Judge. ID's in there working on my computer now.
Okay. All right, so it's 10 o'clock. We'll go back into regular session of Commissioners Court. BJ Simon is on the phone. BJ?
Yes, good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning, BJ.
Morning.
They said, good morning, BJ. All right, on the economic development tourism, we're going to go into the public hearing on 3 items. That would be 5.1, a public hearing at 10 a.m. regarding the Lone Star NGL asset 2 LLC FRAC 8 tax abatement agreement. 5.4 regarding the MPH Market Street LLC Project Quartz 2020 reinvestment zone. And 5.7, public hearing 10 a.m. regarding the TGS Singapore Partners LP 2020 reinvestment zone. There were no public comments, correct, Lauren?
Correct.
For the public hearing, is anything Commissioners, BJ, during the public hearing, would like to make a public comment at this time? BJ, no?
I'm sorry. Say again,
No,
Judge?
public comment this time from you?
No, just, these are public hearings that are conducted first.
It's popping up like it did.
Okay. Anything from the Commissioners during the public hearing time? If not, we'll discuss them as we go to the item. All right, so we went into a public hearing at 10 o'clock a.m. and at 10:01 a.m. we will recess out of the public hearing. Go to 5.2, go back into regular session of Commissioners Court. 5.2, discuss, consider the Lone Star NGL asset holdings tax abatement agreement. BJ.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioners, this is a tax abatement agreement for Lone Star NGL Asset Holdings 2 LLC for fractionator number 8. If you recall, back in 2019, they submitted applications and proposals for
Oh, she got it now.
Fractionator 7 was approved, consummated. What we have before you is a tax abatement agreement for fractionator number 8. The schedule for the tax abatement is noted on page 4, essentially the same as the schedules for fractionator 7. This tax abatement is in parallel with the Chapter 381 agreement for infrastructure contributions. So the tax abatement agreement is presented for your review.
So we designated this funds for infrastructure on the road south of I-10 there on precinct 4. BJ.
I think so, Judge. There were a number of, and that's the item on the chapter, the actual element agreement, those elements.
Okay, I see that.
So I guess the two separate actions to approve the abatement and then actually look at the the economic development agreement.
All right, entertain a motion to approve the Lone Star NGL.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Gore. Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-3. Discuss and consider Lone Star NGL Asset Holdings Economic Development Agreement. Go ahead, BJ.
Thank you, Judge. This is Chapter 381 Economic Development Agreement that's linked to the tax abatement agreement. Noted, the court has identified several projects that are noted as infrastructure projects on page 3 of the agreement. EW4, Kilgore Parkway, Eagle Point Road, and various county park improvements and just a number of industrial support infrastructure projects. The intent is to enter into the agreement to parallel the tax abatement agreement. There are arrangements to allowances that are made in the agreement for infrastructure contributions in 2020 and 2021, and then also Chapter 381 Community Impact Program contributions over the term of the agreement that derives 1.5% payment of tax savings over term. So it's for your review.
Questions?
When is the payment due in on this one?
When is the payment due in, BJ?
The first contribution is November 1, 2020, and the second is November 1, 2021.
Thank you.
Both at $500,000.
Yeah, for total of $1 million.
Yeah.
First two payments. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Combs, second by Commissioner Nelson. Questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries 5-5. Discuss, consider order establishing the NPH Market Street Project Courts Reinvestment Zone. BJ.
Yes, Judge. The court accepted and approved an application from NPH Market Street LLC on July 28th and August 3rd related to the reinvestment zone. The order essentially is required to establish reinvestment zone. NPH APB 16, as they're known and referred to, has met all the timely notice requirements and all the elements associated with designated reinvestment zone, and is presented for your review and approval.
Hey, Judge,
Yes, sir.
if BJ wouldn't mind real quick, just touch on the benefit of these reinvestment zones. I had a couple of people asking me about that the other day.
Did you hear that, BJ? Commissioner Gore asked you to just talk a little bit about the reinvestment zones and what's the benefit for creating the reinvestment zone.
Yes,
So-
the reinvestment zone is a statutory requirement, Commissioner, in order to provide the basis for the appraisal district to understand the economic impact of a particular project. And so when the county or unit of government approves a tax abatement or in order to enter into a tax abatement agreement, the reinvestment zone of the footprint of the project has to be established. For this particular project, it's known as Project Quartz. This is the first phase of a potential 3-phase project that would exist or be built within a 58-acre designated reinvestment zone, which this order affects. The intent is to build the first phase of 806,000 square feet of logistics and distribution space, and the potential investment is right at $46 million. And so the zone is established and has a life or years, and hopefully in that period, the phases 2 and 3 would occur. The investment zone in and of itself are required, by statute, so as to allow the county to move forward with entering into a tax abatement agreement.
Thank you, sir. I'd had a couple of people asking me about that, and I just wanted to make sure if they were listening, they got clarification.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, the term reinvestment zone can mean many different things to different people, and this is a statutory requirement that is required under Chapter 312 of the tax code.
You bet. Thank you very much.
Thanks, BJ. Any other questions? Now I'll entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Combs, second by Commissioner Tice, I think.
Yes.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5.6, discuss and consider notice of public hearing regarding the NPH Market Street LLC project Quartz tax abatement agreement. BJ.
Yes, the notice, I mean, the public hearing has been conducted, Judge. So if you want to go directly to the order, is that?
I'm on 5.8. Discuss, consider the order establishing TGS reinvestment zone.
Thank you, Judge. Again, this was an application that was accepted and approved by the court on July 28th, and then the request for establishing the reinvestment zone was submitted and approved by the court on August 3rd. By way of reminder, this is a $9 million project that TGS Cedar Port is going to undertake for a project that is going to last 3 to 4 years. The intent is to build this 210,000 square foot facility to be utilized as an assembly and manufacturing or value add facility, very similar to the operations that S&B Engineering conducts on Oscar Nelson Boulevard. The order that's presented to you, again, is required by statute. TGS Cedar Port has applied and provided the appropriate notices to the taxing entities, and the designation order is presented for your review and approval today.
Entertain a motion on 5.8.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Combs, second by Commissioner Tice. Questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. 5.9, discuss and consider notice of public hearing regarding the TGS Cedar Port Partners LP tax abatement agreement.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Now that the court has taken action on the order designating the creation of the reinvestment zone, it requires a minimum 30-day notice in order to at least to present to the public consideration of the actual final approval of the abatement agreement. The next available court that this could occur is on September 22nd. So the request today is to post a public hearing notice on the Chambers County website tomorrow to announce the court's intent to review and approve the tax abatement agreement.
Okay, so we'll set the public hearing for September 22nd at 10 a.m. That what you said, BJ?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Judge, I think
Yes, sir.
item number 5.6 was the exact same thing that we ended up skipping over.
That's correct. Yeah.
So we got.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to skip over 5.6.
Yeah.
BJ got too many items running together here. All right, so let's go and take 5.9. We'll go back to 5.6. Just a
I'll
moment.
move for approval.
All right.
Just
Motion by Commissioner Combs.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Nelson. And that's correct, BJ. You want it set for September 22nd at 10 a.m.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. All those in favor?
Uh,
Opposed, motion carried. Back to 5.6. Discuss and consider notice of public hearing regarding the MPH Market Street Projects Tax Abatement Agreement. That's all you want it set September 2nd,
That is
22nd, 10 a.m.
same requirements, yes.
And I'll move for approval on that one also.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Combs, second by is that Nelson.
Yeah.
Nelson. Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. BJ,
That's it, Judge.
you've been busy. You've been busy, haven't you?
Yes, well, the county's busy. I mean, it's a good sign, given the challenge.
That's a good thing. All right, thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
BJ.
BJ.
All right, we're through the consent. Got everything done on the first page. We're going to go into executive session at 12 a.m. There's 3 items. Discuss it. 20.1, discuss and consider elevator maintenance contract options. 20.2, discuss and consider acquisition of real property for official county use and improvement. 20.3, discuss and consider EW4 proposal submitted by TGS. And so we're going to go into executive session at 10:12 a.m. Okay, Chambers County Commissioner Court come to order after executive session. It's 12:58 p.m. There were 3 executive session, 21, 20.1, 22, and 20.3. Those items will all 3 be tabled and come back to the next court. Is there anything else coming for the court? I don't think there is. Not. We're adjourned. Look good, Gary. I like it. You look good with the mask on. Look better.
Those things were just too small for my big head.
You
Stretch.
gotta break those, you gotta break the stitches, Billy. You stretch it out.
Stretch it.
Court's adjourned.
Thank you, Judge.